Okay, Gary, thanks for taking the time to do the manager's interview for us. 11 games into the season. How is it being a conference manager compared to a Conference South? Is there a big step up, or is it...
I think there's a difference in counting the games. It's more than 11 games, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, what are we up to, about 12, 13, are we, or...?
Just threw me there. I thought I'd missed a couple of games. It's been an education. I saw quite a few games last year, and it's pretty much what we thought, but when you're in it and you're having to experience it with the players, it's been up and down. I think at times we've proved that we can cope with this level, and then at times we've proved that we can't, and we haven't done it. So I think the players are having to learn on the job, given the constraints that we work under, being part-time, training facilities, budget, which they're acceptable constraints. You know, you've got to draw the line somewhere. But with those constraints, we had to go with the players that we had that got us promoted, and I think rightly so. The majority of those had earned the opportunity to try it at this level, and the players that I got in had to be generally from that level as well. So we knew that there was a good 12, 14 players in the squad that we weren't convinced about at this level. We knew what they could perform, could produce at Conference South level, but at this level it was always going to be a shot in the dark. And I think we found some that can, some that can't, and some that might. And that's where we've got to just juggle it around.
Do you feel being part-time is a hindrance to you?
Only massively. Time to work on things is just... every time we kick off, I still look and I go, we need to spend a couple of sessions working on getting a structured kick-off, because we look a little bit, I don't think it sets the right tone. And every time I sit there and I think about the training sessions, and the first 2 minutes of the game are always spent thinking, when can I work that in? Just can't. I've got the plan, we've got the game on Tuesday now, so I'm trying to throw extra sessions in, but in every single session I don't have enough time.
Does that, playing Saturday, Tuesday quite regularly, does that throw your training sessions out a lot?
Well, that's been difficult. What we need to do is set the team up at the start, which is what we did. We had 3 or 4 options of the way we wanted to play, so we could switch between the two. We knew that, you know, to look at the fixture list, that there was 14 league games in August and September, so we were never going to get much time. And the 1 week that we had off, as I recall, it absolutely battered it down all week, and you can't really have players standing around and working on specific things, because they've got to stand around, listen and try things and go back to it. And so the 1 week we had, we couldn't do anything. So it's been difficult in that regard, because talking to the managers, they can come in on the Thursday and Friday and on the Monday and the Tuesday morning, even sometimes on the Wednesday morning after games. And so that's been the biggest problem. But now we've got a little bit of time now between now and I think the Kettering game midweek, that we can do some work, or a little bit more work.
You mentioned about players there at the start. You've lost a few players, you've brought a few in. Can you give us an insight into the players that you have brought in, a bit more? Obviously you've got Sean on loan, and...
Well, standing back, Simon Overland played against us for Fisher, always had quality. We did have another goalkeeper lined up for a long time, probably from January last year, who was... when they signed the contract, they signed 3 copies. He signed the first copy, he was halfway through signing the second copy, and he changed his mind, which threw everything out, because I stopped looking because I thought the deal was done.
You had landed him, and
that caused us a lot of problems. So Simon came in down at Dover, did well, and I felt that we had to take him. He had all the criteria, and I think again it's been a bit of a learning curve for him, because he didn't play a lot of football last year.
Okay.
Adam Green, in a similar position, didn't play a lot of football. That's why we get them. Adam Green was somebody who, not last season, the season before, I was trying to sign, and he went to Norway, I think. He had enough from the Spanish club, and I spent some time working on him. He came in, and he's got a lot of quality. I think it's fairly apparent that he can play higher. Obviously, he's got a very good pedigree. Sammy Alab, I knew from obviously Team Bath, did very well for them. Left-sided defender, which is rare, and it gives us a few options there. Mark Canham is somebody that I know who's got a lot of quality, and I felt would bring something that we didn't have. But all these players, those 4, 2 didn't play football, and 2 last year, and 2 played at Conference South level. So again, it's a kind of a shot to the unknown with those. think who else we brought in? Justin
Right.
Cochran was the one that we were kind of nailed on because we knew he had the quality.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken a little bit of time for him to get into the swing of things, and typical that he just got to that stage. I think Kettering, first 20 minutes was his best 20 minutes spell.
definitely.
He's now out for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken metatarsal,
Right.
so kind of sums it up. Rob Gradwell, I knew that I was going to wait for a long time for a centre forward, but I felt I needed to have a backup just in case it didn't happen. And I said, I think in May, that I might have to wait till the very last week of the transfer window.
Right.
But we took Rob because he felt he had the criteria. But I think the expectations on Rob are a bit too high at the moment. He's 18 and
Yep.
he's still learning his game, as with George. But George is a little bit of a different character because he's a little bit further in his development. He's a player that I've known since he was 16 and knew about his pace and his quality.
Yep.
And then obviously getting Sean in was a big boost because that was the one. I had another one that I was really waiting on from a League One club, and then just before the window he got in their team and didn't want to move then, so
Right.
it killed us. But Sean was done at. I tried about 3 weeks previously, and him and Parlin said he wasn't going out. But I think I must have spoke to him on that day. I must have spoke to him at least 10 times. He rang me every half an hour, and he was sitting in the offices at Notts County watching the clock go down.
Right.
And I think we got confirmation through at 1 minute to 5. Which
Okay. Right on the
But
button.
again,
then.
Sean's, he told me he's now played I think 8 games in a row, and he's not done that since for a season and a half.
Right.
So again, we're not in a position to buy or to bring in recognised quality like the guy Farrell at Rushden and Diamonds.
Yeah.
They brought him off the bench against us. I would love to have had him in because he played at Halifax.
Yeah.
He's been at this level. He's scored goals, but he's on the bench for Rushden and
Yeah,
Diamonds, and
I
that's
mean,
what you're competing against.
You look at the strikers against us today. There's £100,000 paid for a striker by Chester.
Yeah.
It's a different league to what we're in
Exactly.
money wise.
It's a difficult scenario for us, but we're here and we're competing.
How does loan signings when they come in? Does it affect the team morale or anything like that? Because you know that you're not going to keep them permanently, or
It depends on the individual. And to be honest, I knew Sean very well. I knew George.
Yeah.
I knew their character, and I think if you do the homework, then you don't buy anybody or bring anybody in who you think is going to cause a problem. But then again, every now and then you want to do that just
Yeah.
to ruffle a few feathers
Yeah.
and see what happens. So we'll continue to use that as we see fit.
okay. And the French striker that we've just signed, Frank.
He's been here for about 3 or 4 weeks, and we just managed to get his international clearance, and he's all over the BBC website, all
Yeah.
over the place, and he played in the reserves on Wednesday night. He's got a way to go. I mean, he's not in the first team squad. He wasn't, he was eligible to play today, and he wasn't in the first team squad. So,
Okay.
I mean, the other thing with him is that he can't speak barely a word of English.
Right. So there's a language barrier
Yeah,
as well.
so and he needs to be coached into, you come into a new country, you've got to have something, and that's going to prove difficult. So he needs to sort that out, basically.
The players that you lost, Stephen Gregory, Josh Scott, Will Hendry, was that a big loss losing
Aaron Howe,
Aaron Howe?
Darren
Yeah.
Whittle.
Yeah. There's the list is endless, I suppose. Is that a big
Well,
loss to you, the likes of Josh?
Well, Josh made it clear from I think January that he didn't want to sign a contract. So
Right.
we pretty much knew he was going to go.
Yeah.
Will Hendry made it clear that he wanted to go full time. We made him a contract offer. He didn't respond to it. And so I just assumed we just moved on. He made it clear that he did not want to come back here. He didn't want to sign the contract. In fact, he made it clear to me verbally that he didn't want to sign the contract. So that was that. So I didn't count on him. But he hadn't gone by the start of pre-season. He came back in. He was injured, had an operation. And our advice was that he wouldn't be fully fit to play until September.
Right.
So at that stage, you look at him saying, "Well, I'm not going to give Will Hendry to come to us. Would have been a big signing of an awful lot of money." And you look at the budget and say, "I can't afford to have what would have been almost 8-9% of the budget sitting in the stand."
Okay.
I think Will needs to play at this level. Will needs to be full time. He needs to be working hard. I see that he's gone. He went to Dagenham Redbridge. They didn't take him. Apparently Derby were interested. Gillingham were interested. It's interesting that these clubs take a look at him and everybody fancies him. And I think last year he was going here, there, and everywhere. But right now he's sitting in Maidenhead's stand.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's kind of. I think actually Central Farnborough, you know, and that's 2 levels below us. Some players
Yeah.
find their level, and it's not always based on their ability.
Right.